everybody.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Knit Chat Cafe. My name is Noelle, and this is my friend,
Kelly.
And we are coming to you from Southwestern Ontario, Canada. And there are people already telling us that they can see us and hear us. So we got that down. Thank you for letting us know. Welcome, everybody. Kayla was in here today at like 2 something.
Oh, really?
2 something, saying that she was so looking forward to being done work and being able to watch the show. So welcome to Kayla. And Sharon was in here and she said the people in here get chatting earlier and earlier every week, and soon it's going to be like a whole day knit chat.
Knit night's just getting longer and longer, right?
Yeah.
You can start tailgate knit day. Yeah, knit chat. Yeah, you can knit chat anytime you like. And we are happy to see you do that too. We are thrilled that people are in here. We're very happy that you have created some friendships and that you have found your people. This is exciting.
If you're new, everybody.
Yeah, if you're new here, join in. Don't be shy. It is a very welcoming group. If you are using a device that has a keyboard, you should be able to see the chat running down the right side of your screen. So just jump in, introduce yourself, and there's some very lovely people in here that are very excited to meet with you and knit with you. And if you're watching us not with a keyboard, well, we will try to include sort of let you know where the questions are coming from as the evening progresses to keep you in the loop. So, yeah. Okay.
So welcome everybody. And I saw there's lots of weather information all through here. Some people are getting snow. Some people are in the 70s. Some people it's warm. Well, I think this week we've gone from yesterday, which I could have almost sat outside of my bathing suit, to today, which was raining and cold and windy
but not cold. It was still 15 degrees today. It's just, it looks cold.
It did not ever get to 15 degrees where I am.
Oh, well, it did here. So I'm farther south than you. I'm 20 minutes more south than you. Though,
well, I think I've been getting the breeze off the lake too.
Yes.
Like the water off the lake. Because it was, I think the warmest it got here, because I went out, was about 7.
Okay.
And I'm like, where's the 15 degrees?
That's so weird. Well, anyway. It's down to 6 now. So it is definitely getting cooler out there.
Yeah. But anyway, welcome everybody. We hope that wherever you are, that the weather's not hindering you from knitting. So, but we want to welcome everybody. And before we go any further, I know that there had been some people that had asked about my 2 little granddaughters that did the knit chat chime for us. So I put it in here. So I think we've had some newer viewers that may not have seen this. So this is like just some shameless self-promotion here from my granddaughters. So we'll run this here.
Knit chat night. 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 Knit chat night.
So
I think we need to find a way to work that into our intro for sure.
Yep. And they also have some words of advice for you. So we will play that one now.
And thanks for watching Knits and Pieces. For watching Knits and Pieces.
Please like and
subscribe.
There we go. So cute.
So there we go. That was they are older now. That was 1.5 years ago that they filmed those little clips for me. So thank you, Molly and Isla. And it's just fun to see it. It's fun when you look back and you see how much they grow in that short period of time. But
yes, very quick. Teresa's in here tonight, and she is joining us from her hospital bed. So we are sending healing vibes and get well wishes to Teresa, and we hope that you're feeling better
Nikki
soon.
Said that she was back in the hospital too. So healing vibes to you too, Nikki. So we hope that we can at least provide a little bit of entertainment while you're in your hospital bed, and hopefully you're not going to be there long, and you'll be home and back to your regular environment soon. So. But, okay, so where do we want to start? We do have some admin.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that first. Let's do our. We should probably, we should probably talk a little bit about our knit-alongs. Do the prizes for the sock thing first, because we get talking and then we get to the end of the show and we forget about that.
Okay, let's do that right off the hop then.
Okay.
So we have our year-long sock along that we are running in our Ravelry group. And the rules are very easy. It doesn't matter when you started them. It just really matters when you finish them. So as soon as you finish them, add them into our Ravelry group and they will count. So each month we draw 2 prizes, 2 winners at the end of each month. One is a pattern prize, which is donated by our friend Natalie Sheldon, who is, I almost hesitate to say that she's Remembrances Pottery now, because I feel like she's just really spreading her designer wings. So we just want you to know that she is a fabulous pattern designer too. And she has quite a few colorwork patterns in there now. And so you would get a coupon code to go in and choose a pattern of your choice if you are a pattern winner. And then our second prize is always a sock yarn prize. So I did the draw today. So I, do the cut. And so if you entered in January, you are going to get, well, really 24 opportunities to win, because there's 2 each month. And because when I do the draw, we go all the way back to the beginning of January. So your socks stay in there all year long. So at the end of February, we had 634 pairs that had been entered into the Ravelry group already this year, which I think that's a staggering amount of socks.
Yep.
Yes. And okay, so are you pulling them up? Is that what you're in there? Okay.
Yep.
So our first winner for the pattern is
Donna. And Donna is Donna 55 on Ravelry. And see, this was pair number 24.
24. Yes.
So
all the way back at the beginning of the year.
Right, in January. So congratulations to Donna. Donna, you're winner of the sock pattern for this month.
I really like the socks that she made too. It does look like it's a self-striping sock yarn, but I like the way she's patterned them. So she's done this rib sort of all the way down the leg, which is going to hug the leg really, really well. And then it looks like she's got a fleegle heel in there as well, which is it's a heel type that I really like to use. So, and I love those colors, and they're kind of complementary to what we are both wearing tonight. Not that we planned it, but we sort of ended up we're in the same color zone again tonight. So, okay. And then we have a sock yarn, and I'll show you what the prize is this month. This is a beautiful skein of yarn from Ravenswood Fiber Co., which is in Nova Scotia, where I grew up. And this one is called, oh yeah, that's right, it had this really cool name, Care Package, which I think is the perfect skein of sock yarn to win. It has some beautiful deep maroons in there. There's gray, purples. I think it's like a really good spring color too, because I think that there's a lot of potential in that skein. And her yarn is so incredibly soft. So it is an 80-10-10. This is an MCN merino cashmere nylon. So this is going to be like super, super cozy on your toesies. Okay. Who's the winner for this one?
The winner for February is Teresa, who is Terry PL or Terry P 1959 on Ravelry. And this was pair number 246. Again, it looks like an Arne & Carlos color, maybe like a Regia Arne & Carlos color. I'm not sure, but very nice sock with the detail going up the front. And again, you cannot beat those self-patterning.
You can't.
Yarns.
You can't.
No, they look so nice. So, okay, so congratulations to Teresa. And for both of our winners, if you want to get a hold of us, you can email us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com. For the yarn prize, we need your full name and your mailing address. And for the pattern prize, you can just email and I'll send you the code and you can go into Ravelry and pick out your pattern. So congratulations to both of our winners. And everyone, great job on all the socks. Keep getting your socks in there. I know Kelly and I seem to have our sock mojo back.
We do, with a vengeance. I was just about ready to cast on yet another pair today. And I thought, Kelly, slow down, finish a pair.
I can't. I have to finish some. I did cast on more things, but I have to finish things.
Maybe while we're talking about the Makealongs, why don't we just toss this in here right now and let's chat about this. So we've already talked about the sock make along that we
Yes.
have going all year.
Yep.
And so then next up on the agenda, we have the Advent along. Do you want to talk about that one, Noelle?
Yeah, we decided that we would do this because it seems like we get to December every year, and a lot of people get Advent calendars, but yet in December we're so busy you don't necessarily have time to knit what you want with them. And also a lot of people do gift giving, and like me, who tend to concentrate in December and have to have a whole lot of things done in December. So I think that doing this, it means you can work on whatever your Advent project is, whether it can be a sweater that you're knitting, a pair of socks that you're knitting, a pair of socks a month that you're knitting for presents in December, but you kind of break it up so that you're knitting on it all along, as opposed to just going, oh no, it's December, I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it works right now is there is a chatter thread. We're not going to open a finished object thread until December. So post your things post what you're working on and what you're doing in the chatter thread. And we will draw a prize like quarterly just from a random comment in the chatter thread. So, get in there and talk about your project, show us what you're working on. And then by December, hopefully doing it that way will have provided you with a stress-free December.
Yes.
Not that
absolutely.
I could ever imagine that, but.
Well, a stress-free knitting December,
No,
yes.
They'll just do what I do and say, oh, well, I got all that done. I'll just finish all this too.
Not everybody is like you. Not everybody. Some of us enjoy the quiet and the calm. Not that mine ever seems to be much more
I do.
calm
I
either.
don't have quiet and calm.
And then the third one that we are hosting right now, and this one will wrap up at the end of this month in March, we are hosting a vest/slipover, which is, we've been calling this one, Make a Vest, Give Sleeves a Rest. And so it's any vest pattern of your choosing, and you still have time. Vests are pretty quick. So if you haven't joined in this yet, yeah, absolutely. You still have time. And we will do a draw for that at the end of March. And I've finished my vest this week, so I'll be showing that one off tonight. And you did not, but you have a lot of things going on though too. And who knows? I could very possibly start another one before the end of the month. Who the heck knows? But anyway, and it doesn't have to be knit. Any of our make-alongs. It's not restricted to knitting. It can be crochet. Or weaving. We talk about weaving, really just any way that you can find a way to make these items that we're talking about. And then we will, starting in April, we'll have a new one for the second quarter of the year too.
Yep. Okay. So questions. There were a few questions.
Yes, there were.
Okay, so one we'll talk about first because it actually sort of relates to the Advent knit along. And this was someone that is doing a pair of Natalie's socks. So she's doing one of the Advent pairs that's a full colorwork sock. And in Natalie's patterns, it calls for an afterthought or a forethought heel. So you're not breaking up or interrupting the pattern as you go down. So she said that she does have a high instep, and she has done an afterthought before and done about 4 extra rows. And it's better, but not as good as a heel flap and gusset. So did anybody have any other suggestions as far as what she could do? I would say if 4 is not enough, do a few more. Because I know
I do 5. And that's for me.
I do 7 when I do like the guys' socks. So I don't know if there's any way. The thing with doing a heel flap and a gusset when you're doing all over color work, then that gusset, you've kind of got to do, you're either gonna, I don't know how you're gonna get the yarn across it to get to the other side, like, because you've still got color work on the sole, or I don't know how you would do it unless you carried it across in a stripe. But it would be difficult to keep the patterning, especially in the gusset, because you're decreasing every second round. So I don't know if anybody else has any other suggestions. I would just say that I would try and do more rounds before you start the decreases till you get a number of rounds that fits your foot. And before you finish the sock, like before you get to the end of the sock, do your heel so you can try it on and see what it feels like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I don't know if anybody else has any other suggestions. Again, I can't think of a heel flap and gusset where you would be able to continue the patterning without major major manipulation of the pattern to make it fit into those stitches and the decreases.
Mm-mm.
So
something I was thinking, but you're probably already up a needle size if you're doing color work. I was going to say you could go up a needle size. That might give you a little bit more room in the heel pocket to give you a bit of instep space. I don't know. I thought I had the highest instep in the world, and 5 rows will work for me. But if you said you've already done 3, or 4 rows, 1 extra row is not going to give you that space.
Well, a couple might, because
more
like I know there's
rows,
a difference from me between whether I do 3 or 5. So
yeah, for sure. Something else that you might want to try is just a different heel type, a shadow wrap heel, maybe. I do think that one might be a little bit deeper. Maybe it would, well, depending on how many stitches you have going on, I guess, in your color work.
It's harder with the shadow wrap heel to do those extra rows before you start into the.
Yes. Yeah. But I think the heel cup itself in a shadow wrap is just ever so slightly deeper than a.
I know that there are, and I think it was Linda. I think it was Linda from Out West. What's her podcast called? I can't remember.
For the Fun of Knit.
Fun of Knit.
I watched her and her mom today. Oh my gosh. So funny.
Anyway, I think that she actually increases a few extra stitches before she does the heel.
Okay.
So, and that would help give you a little bit more room in the heel. So
yeah, you could actually do that too, because I know I've been in a situation where I decreased a few stitches on a color work pattern to do the heel because I didn't want the heel to be too deep. So I guess, alternately you could go the other way around. Yeah,
like
of course.
And that's going to give you more stitches that you can actually do the decreases on. So now Lynn says she likes Fish Lips Kiss for a high instep. I have never done that. Bought the pattern. It was too long, so I never did it.
This kind of prompted me to remember something too. It says that there are some YouTube videos for adding a small gusset to an afterthought heel. And I do now that thank you, Lynn, for pointing that out.
You have to work that all the way around though. That's the whole point. If you have to work it all the way around, it's going to interrupt your color work.
It's going to interrupt the color work. Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't know whether you do, but if you pick up stitches and then you've got to go all the way around with it, then it is going to, if you've got a full color work sock, it's going to interrupt your color work. So, unless you stuck just a colored band in there.
And I've seen that too. I absolutely
like maybe the color of your cuff or your heel or something.
Yeah.
You could do that. So,
yeah. So, okay.
Anyway. Okay. So that was one question. Next wasn't so much of a question, but we had talked about knitting with alpaca yarn last week and what you could do to avoid stretching. So someone had said they had done a hat that used a smock stitch pattern and that helped it. So I think if you've got a textured pattern that kind of brings your stitches like closer together or more things to grip on, that it might help with stretching issues.
Yeah.
So, and then there was 2 questions about split hems.
Okay.
So the first one was someone has finished a garment with a split hem, but she finds it's gaping. And other than ripping it out and doing it over again, is there anything that you could do? I guess you could kind of do like a false, well, not a false seam, but like kind of place one over the other and kind of tack down one side, maybe an inch or so, just to kind of bring it together.
Yeah.
I know, and I think you do the same thing. I know when I do mine, I usually go in and pick up, when I'm doing the second half of it, I usually go in and pick up stitches under the first one, like 3 or 4 stitches, so that the hem actually starts. That's actually, I should have brought one down and I didn't. I'll show one next week. Do you have one there?
Yes, my vest tonight has it.
Okay. And did you do that? Overlap it?
I did. I overlapped it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we get to showing Kelly's vest, she'll show you, but it is. So you're picking up extra stitches underneath, like let's say it's the front that you finished first. So when you go in to pick up your stitches for the back, you pick up your stitches, but then you also go underneath the start of that front rib and pick up 3 or 4 more stitches so that it's overlapping. So your front will overlap the back by 4 stitches, and that will help to keep it from gaping out a lot. And someone also asked whether we changed needle sizes. They said they went down. If you go down, it's going to draw it in. Okay. I know I usually stay on the same needle size, but I usually do that. I don't like I find that rib brings the fabric in as it is, especially if you're doing a substantial rib, like, 2 inches or whatever, it brings it in enough. So if you go down needle sizes, I mean, you can see the difference when you start knitting a sock and you're doing 2x2 rib and you start off and you think, oh, this sock looks huge. But by the time you've done 10, 12 rounds, it really brings it in. So if you're going down a needle size, it's really going to bring that rib in.
Yes.
So I would suggest staying on the same needle or only dropping it a little. So.
Okay. Barb is asking for a video tutorial for making the split hem knot gape. I could totally do that. I could show you how I did the overlap. I will add it to my list of things that I need to get at. Yeah. There are a few other ones on the internet if you were to Google it.
If you're looking for it right now, I would just put it in like YouTube and see, like, just type in overlapping knitted split hem and see. So, because I know there's quite a few patterns that do incorporate it. So,
yeah. I really like the way it finishes up too. Like instead of that, that gaping split, I like the way, and it's totally dependent too upon the pattern, I find too. Like, because I've done some where I didn't have to do that at all. But if the fabric is dense enough, I guess just if the yarn is a heavier weight and if it's dense enough, then it's probably going to be okay. I mean, I'm thinking about my coastal crop raglan. That one has a split hem. It's completely fine. The vest, our riptide vests, that has a split hem, and that one's completely fine. Although she did do a really cool thing. Instead of just splitting right there at the side, she sort of split it. It's just a little bit to the front. So I think maybe that takes some of the pressure off of the split as well. But my vest that I just finished, I mean, it's a really light fabric. It's just coast and a mohair. So it's like super soft and wispy. And I knew that was going to have very little structure. So that is something that I definitely wanted to give that split hem a little bit of structure to. So, yeah.
Okay. So did you have any questions?
I did have a question, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on live or not. Cindy asked, I don't know if Cindy's in here tonight, or she sent a message and she asked if I could show how I put my Sophie wraps on my head, because she's interested to wear them on her head. So I think I can. I don't know. I'm going to give this a whirl. Hopefully it doesn't come off and have to stay off for the whole night. But so I do my wraps a couple of different ways. I have a few of these that I like to wear. Whew. And so there's a couple of different ways. So if I'm wearing my hair down long and I kind of want it to look like a headband, then sort of what I'll do, and I don't know, I'm just going by sort of feel here if I can see this, I would sort of go this way, and then I just kind of tie it at the back this way, because then I like the my hair to hang down, and I sort of like the scarf to hang down over the side. So that's kind of the way I would wear it if my hair is down. But if you're talking about wearing it where I've got my hair pinned up and then I just want it to look like a head wrap, here's what I kind of do. Hopefully I can get this back on here. So I put the heavier part of the scarf at the back of my neck. And then I bring it up. I don't like to, you can do this in the center, you can do it sort of off to the side. I tend to do it a bit off to the side. So once I've brought this up, I kind of give it a couple of twists like this. And then I feel like this is so backwards. And then I will kind of roll my ends as well. And then you just bring them down and you can tuck them in like this, just up into the scarf. This scarf will go nowhere, by the way. And so then I would just sort of roll the other end this way, and I tuck it up inside the band back here. And this is absolutely, I don't know if that looks like it did when I started, but it feels kind of like it did. Yep. It's very, very comfortable. The thing about this is I don't find that this slips on my hair the way, you know, I often use cotton bandanas in the same fashion. I do find that that will kind of start to slip up my head, and I don't like to tie those too tight because it kind of gives me a bit of a headache. This being like a really soft fabric and being wool, it breathes really well on my head and it never gives me a headache. And it's just very, very comfortable. And I like that sort of like extra padding. And if it's in the wintertime, you can even like sort of tug it down over your ears to kind of keep your ears a little bit warm too. But I just sort of like the way it works. And this Sophie scarf was actually, this one is Coast and no.
Yeah.
Haya.
Yeah, not Coast and Haya.
Coast and yes, Coast and Haya. I kept thinking there's Haya in there somewhere, and Haya is so Coast is 50-50 or close enough. It's 45-55 cotton and wool, and then the Haya is Haya or no, just Haya. Haya is 70% baby alpaca and 20% mulberry silk and 10% yak. And you know how we love our yak in any fiber. So you get that sort of darkish undertone. But anyway, it breathes really well. And this never makes me, it doesn't make me overheat in any way. And it's very, very comfortable on my head. So,
right. And both of those yarns are fingering weight yarns. So when you put them together, you get the DK, which is what the Sophie scarf calls for. So you don't even have to fiddle with numbers or anything if you're doing it.
Yeah. Also, somebody's asking if it's the longer or the shorter Sophie scarf, and this is the smaller one, I think, right? Like, yeah.
No, I think it's a longer one, but you just didn't do it as wide.
Oh,
because the shorter one is really short.
Okay, well.
I'm pretty sure we've both done the longer one, but didn't go to the full width.
Okay.
The short one, if you tie it around your neck, you can only get like one tie around your neck.
Okay. Right. So I think I sort of had a yardage feeling in my head after doing the first one. This is the third one I've done now. So the first one I did directly to pattern. I did find it was a little bit too wide for my neck.
Yeah.
So then the next one, I made it more narrow and a little bit longer because I wanted a little bit of extra length. And then this one is probably very similar to my second one. I don't recall the measurements. I'm going to say it's somewhere around 36 inches long, maybe 36, 38 inches long.
Why don't you measure it after? I measured after the show. Send me the measurement.
I will. I can do that. Yeah, I'm not taking it off again. But anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty close. So, and I know, Noelle, you have made little ones and you tie them right into your hair, like around your ponytail. So there's a lot of uses
I've even tied the bigger one, like one, because my hair is quite long. And when I put a ponytail up to here, even to tie the big one, because it just hangs down the same length as your hair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So we should move on to what we're wearing.
Well, beside my Sophie scarf, not wearing a sweater tonight, but I did make the dress. So it's one of my hinterland linen dresses. And this one's in a really heavy fabric. So it's almost, although I wear it in the summer, honestly, sometimes it almost feels warm for the summer. It was a really heavy linen. It's not a normal linen. It was Brussels washer linen. So I find it's quite a dense fabric for the dress, but I end up wearing these dresses. I will wear them like I'll just throw a sweater over top. Yep. I actually made this one. I think I was planning to wear it with my couture tee, which matches pretty close to this headband. And so I do wear it for that. But in the winter, they're super comfortable to wear around the house, or I'll throw some tights on with the linen dresses. And then I can still put the sweater over top or even layer up something warmer underneath. Okay, so... And we've got a question here too. Where do I buy my linen fabric? So I like to shop in Canada when I can. And the linen fabric, not this one, this was from a Canadian store, but the normal linen that I use is from a company called Pure Linen Envy. And I will type that in and I'll put it up on screen. And they are a Canadian company and their linen prices are pretty fabulous, I must say. And I have shopped quite a bit from them. They have a really good website. They have a very big range of colors. They even have some yarn dyed linens. They have some pinstriped linens. They have a few patterned linens, not too many, but somewhere else that you could get a really good linen. Sarah was showing it off at the coffee shop talking about it with me at the coffee shop last week. absolutely beautiful linen. And she got that at Blackbird Fabrics, which is also from Canada. Not quite for the same price. She paid a fair bit more, but it is absolutely beautiful linen that she got. So,
but it's also if you go to buy a linen dress, they're pretty expensive.
They are. The thing is, though, with the linen dresses, they don't wear out, and the more you wash them, the better the linen gets.
Well, and like you said, they're versatile. It's like, layer up under it in the wintertime, and then they're just like nice and light and flowy in the summer. And so, Okay. So I am wearing my Mimi. So let me just I got some pictures here. So this is Mimi, and it is by, what did I do here?
I will look.
There we go.
Okay.
Mimi by Trico Designs MCL. And this is done in Holst-Garn Coast again. And the color is saffron, and it is held with the Holst-Garn New Yarn Lucia. And the colorway is papaya. So this yarn, both the yarns, like I'm knitting again with Coast, and I'll show you later. Like, I forgot how much I love that yarn. It's just so soft. It's just so soft. And it comes in so many wonderful colors, and it's amazing price point. Like, I mean, obviously when you put two together and add the Lucia to it, it brings up your price point a bit. But this just makes an absolutely gorgeous drapey fabric. I loved everything about knitting this pattern. The way the ruffle is done, the ruffle is a lace ruffle, but the way it's picked up, you do it right when you're doing the sweater. You don't have to go back and pick up stitches. You kind of actually divide for that as you're doing it. Then you finish the body and then go back and do the ruffle. But I did so far on the body, and then I went and did the ruffle. And especially if you're looking at your yardage, you want to make sure that, that I'm going to have enough to do the sleeves. So it took almost 4 cakes of the Lucia, which is, I think, 200 meters per skein, and basically the same amount in yardage of the Coast. But overall, I think the Coast was maybe 125 grams, and this is 25 grams per skein, 100 grams. So the whole sweater weighs like 225 grams.
Yeah, those skeins seem to go forever. Absolutely forever.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I can't recommend the pattern enough. I love it. I think I'd like to do a summer version just with like little short sleeves.
I like it so much that I am hands down just going to make it in the same color. I said, we try not to do that, end up with the same sweaters in the same colors, but I love that color so much, and I have it. We split the cone on that one, and I was planning to make something else with it, but it's not going to work for that. And I like that one so much. So,
I love it. I just love it. Like, it's just enough ruffle. It's not too ruffly, and
it's so pretty. So gorgeous.
So yeah. I want to see if there's some patterns. I'd like to do some of the granddaughters, like little sweaters like this with the ruffle up top.
That would be really cute too. Yes. Yeah. So pretty. Okay.
So do you have any finished objects?
I do.
How many?
I only have one finished this week. How many do you have?
3.
3. Okay. Well, you get to start.
Okay.
Just fit me in somewhere.
Pardon me? Okay.
Fit me in somewhere.
Okay. So last week I was working on this little romper.
Oh gosh, that's cute.
So it's all done now. So this is
I'll look.
Okay. I can't remember the name till you put it up, because it's got a long name.
Is it Cozy? Is it that one?
No.
By Claire Ellen?
No.
Oh no, I know. Okay, I see what it is. Yeah, it's the onesie.
So it's the Trillet Lunge newborn onesie, and lots of people have emailed me and said that Nifod body means onesie. Yes. So here it is. And Kelly and I were out, and I got these little, you can see them this way, the little flower buttons, and I thought, finished it up beautifully. And then it's got a couple of little buttons down at the crotch area, so that you can easily get the bottom unbuttoned to change diapers.
The business end of the romper.
Yeah. It's really cute the way the pattern is too. Like, they've kind of actually put a little bit of room down in the bottom, like, so that it's not just straight down, but you've got like this little bit of room to fit the diaper. And then it's easy on and off because it's buttons all the way down, so you don't have to put anything over the baby's head. And then it's the little eyelet pattern that Trillet lunge, I looked that up, and it does mean it is a type of a flower. So it kind of looks like that little flower pattern. So the eyelet is on the front, it's on the back, and then the sleeves are just stocking stitch. So that was finish number 1. And then finish number 2 to go with it are these little Hodge booties.
Those booties. We were a group of ladies at the coffee shop all oohing and awing over these teeny tiny little booties on Saturday. They're so sweet.
So here's the little booties, and they do have a little eyelet pattern up in the cuff, and then they're kind of just done almost like a little shoe, and then the underneath is all garter stitch, which was kind of neat. I don't think I'd done anything like this. You go back and forth on the garter stitch, and then when you joined up the toe up here, you did a brush and graft, which I have never done before. And it was, so you can see the toes up there, it's just grafted across the top, and you do not use any yarn to do it. You have your stitches, like one side and the other side. You've got wrong sides together, and you just use a crochet hook. So you're just kind of weaving the stitches
kind of like a
in
hairpin lace. Yeah, sort of like a hairpin lace.
You do not do any, you don't need any yarn to do it. So you don't have this big long yarn that you're pulling through. So you do get a tiny ridge. So depending on what you're doing, but I'm going to try it sometime and see what it looks like on the other side. So I thought it was kind of neat. And I just love how the garter stitch on the bottom is the little sole of your booty.
Well, it's not like a baby is going to feel a ridge. It's not like they have far to walk.
No. Anyway, so, and this one is a free pattern on Ravelry.
Very cute. Very cute.
And the yarn is Direful Yarns. Their Slasher Sock, which is yarn that we got in Chicago at Elgin Knitworks. It was originally going to be something for me because I love the color, but it just seemed like the perfect color to do this in. So
yes.
So those are all done and ready to go. And now we're just waiting for the baby. And I still have a little over 15 grams left. And I think I might be able to do just one of those little beanie caps that's got the little stem on it. So I think I might see if I can get one of those done.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So,
okay. Before we go into the next thing, Victoria pointed out, she said that Amy Scher came out with a kid version.
Yes, I just saw that. It was cute. It was really cute.
So you can add that one into your list.
Yeah, my list.
Very cute.
I'll just whip up 5 of them.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Okay. What's your next one?
No, that's 2. So you go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, all right. So I finished my vest, and this is the vest. So it is first I'll start by showing the pattern.
Okay.
It's actually called the Werner vest, and I think I did do a banner for it too.
Okay, I'll check.
Yeah, there we go.
Got it. Okay.
Now, my vest is heavily modified. So if you'll see here in the pattern, firstly, it looks like it should be very fitted. Mine is not. I specifically wanted it to be looser, but things that I really liked about the pattern, I got all excited about a V-neck vest after I'd been out to BC and seen Darlene's V-neck vest. I'm like, that's it. I have to have a V-neck vest. I really wanted to make the Friday slip over in a V-neck, but I didn't have any navy yarn. What I did have was some beautiful blue, and I thought this vest kind of ticked off a lot of boxes. The other thing that I really like is it has very narrow shoulders, and I like the way that looks as well. So that was about where it ended for me for the pattern. Everything that I've done to it sort of since then is kind of on my own. So here's what I did. Firstly, as I said, mine is not a fitted vest. I wanted it to be something that's kind of looser at the bottom. So I actually started with a size bigger. And then, but I did know that I wanted it to be fitted across the bust. So I just lightly decreased these as I came up the side. There is the aforementioned split hem that I wanted, because this is something that I fully plan to wear like with my blue jeans. So it's a little bit longer. I will likely have a shirt underneath it. So I really like the idea of a split hem. And this is, I have to get in the right spot.
Oh, yeah.
So I did the high-low hem. So it's shorter at the front and longer at the back. And then you can see here where I have crossed over the 4 stitches. And then I also thought, well, it seems a little bit plain. Maybe because this is a bottom up, by the way, too. And that's also out of my comfort zone. But then I thought, well, you know what? Maybe it needs a little something, something. So then I added, I added in a lace panel going up the side.
Oh, that looks
I haven't blocked it yet. So this is all just off the needles today. And this lace pattern was very similar to a pattern that I have previously made. It was the Rocket Tee.
Yep.
Yes. The Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavallee.
The Rocket Tee just had eyelet. It was just eyelet knit stitches eyelet.
Never mind. This is from my Coastal Crop Raglan by Tiff Nayland. Yes. I was thinking, oh, I know I have a sweater with this. Yes. So this is very similar to the pattern that I have in that Coastal Crop Raglan. And then, as I said, I just brought the vest in so that it is nicely fitted. But this turned out.
It looks so good.
It looks so good. I love it. Now I did have all of these stitches to pick up. So something else that I did differently than the pattern, I wanted to make sure, and I haven't blocked this yet, so I know that it is going to have a little bit of room to sort of spread its wings here a bit, but I didn't want in any way for these arm size or for the V-neck to flare out. So I picked up 10 less stitches for each armhole than the pattern suggested, and maybe 12 or 14 less for the V-neck, because I knew that I wanted it to be really snug. So I know that when I block this is going to be exactly what I want. And it does look really nice. I'm pretty happy with the way the stitches picked up. They look pretty even. It looks pretty good around the neckline. She has this little extra detail here where you had been sort of how you were decreasing the stitches. So this does look exactly like her pattern there. The V is a good length I tried it on today for putting a shirt underneath. And this is light as light can be. I purposely wrote everything down today and left the paper upstairs. I used 2 different yarns. So this is 1 strand of Coast, and it is the River color.
Yep.
So that is now my 2nd sweater from a cone, and there is at least another sweater left in there, maybe more. That cone is never going to go away. And then I held it with a strand of the Drops Kid Silk Mohair, and I don't know what color that is. It's it's blue, and the color it's really good. It
looks good.
It blended really well, and then
you have the 2 colors there to see them separate.
Not here beside me. The next time I wear it, maybe next week when I wear it, I'll show it. And then, so I think there were only 72 grams of Coast in this, and then about 65 grams of the mohair. So 2.5 balls of mohair of the 25 gram balls. And then it would just be like a ball and a half really of, if you had the 50 gram cakes of Coast, but I have a cone and it's going to go forever. So I'm really pleased with this project, really pleased with it. I think this is going to be that really good staple in my wardrobe. And
and it's like, it's so light, like it's almost, you can wear it like probably 3 seasons. The only time where it's probably going to be a little too warm is in the middle of summer, but like it'll be fine for spring, fall, winter.
I was even thinking it would look really cute. I've got a black blazer, and I think this would look really cute with a shirt, and then just toss on a blazer over top of it. So when you actually feel like you do need a coat, you're still kind of dressed enough to go out. But my goodness, I'm all about these vests.
I know,
they're so much fun.
It looks really good. I know, now I want to get mine done, but I've been I will.
So fluffy.
I will.
So fluffy.
I know. I want to do a mohair one too, because I think that looks, and it's, you don't even have to have a whole lot of detail in it, and it just gives a nice pop over whatever you're wearing. So,
and Isabel's asking about notes in my Ravelry. Isabel, I may not have the notes here with me tonight, but I kept detailed notes, and they're all posted in my Ravelry. So you absolutely can go in there and have a peek. Yeah. I'm really happy with it. It turned out really good. Wendy's asking, where does a person buy the cones of yarn? Yarn stores do carry the cones as well. I know that they have the cones at
Little Red Mitten has
Little Red
cones
Mitten.
of super soft, but I don't
Super
think they have
soft,
cones
not of the coast. But the cakes that we're talking about, like these are the, well, that's a super soft, but coast would be the same cake. These are the 50-gram cakes, and in a 50-gram cake of coast, there is a lot of yarn.
There's 3,500 meters.
350 meters in a cake.
So in the
cake,
cone, there's 10 because there's 500 grams, so you get 3,500 meters in a cone.
Yeah, but these are super economical too. So this was a really low priced knit to make, and that
and you can order directly from Holst itself, and depending on where you live in the world, I don't necessarily know what shipping costs would be, but you can order directly from them. So, I mean, the nice thing, obviously, if it's in a store, you can actually see the color up close, but I know that you can also order shade cards directly from the company too.
So some people think that, we talk about the coast yarn a lot because we use it a lot. And then the super soft, contrary to its name, it's not super soft, but we often pair it with something else, and then that makes it very wearable. I know you've knit with it by itself.
I knit with it and I wear it. I find I mean, it never gets super soft, but it does soften up considerably after it's been blocked, and you get a lot of that spinning oil out of it.
That's right. But that is, excuse me, that's where I was headed. That's really what you're feeling when you're knitting with it. And you're saying that, it's not pleasant to knit with, that it's kind of stiff and starchy. It's the spinning oil. Coast doesn't have that. That coast.
Well, there is still some, and it does bloom a little, but not nearly as much as the super soft.
So soft to work with. It really is. And I like the fabric. So it's just the tiniest bit lighter, thinner than the super soft.
Like, you do need to, if you're not familiar with it, you do need to swatch with it, because it does give you quite a different gauge than what the super soft does, because I think the coast is like 350 meters,
and the super soft is 287. So there is a difference.
And the super soft definitely blooms more.
Yes, it
does. So
does.
you're going to get it fill in more. So you'll find that you'll be able to knit it at a looser gauge than what you can knit the coast at.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. But anyway, very happy with that project.
Okay. So my last finished object is this little sweater.
Oh, you got it done. That was so good.
Done. Yes, I did. So this is, I know it's by Kitty Winks, but
I'll go looking. Yeah, I'll find it. You keep chatting.
Okay, so this is, I'm doing 2 of these sweaters for a friend's granddaughters, and this is the first one. It is knit in...
What's it called?
Lion brand. I think it starts with a C.
I don't think you have a banner. Sorry.
Do I not?
I don't think so.
Well, I think I have a picture, but maybe I took the banner out.
Okay. I'll look for the picture.
Anyways, there it is. It's the Flutterby cardigan by Kitty Winks Knits. So again, this yarn is Lion brand woolies, and I can't remember the color names, but it's obviously like a purpley heather and then this pale pink. All of that will be in my Ravelry page. I do put all the color numbers in there. It's a little bit different. I've done it a little bit different than what the pattern was originally, because the pattern looks like this, where they've done the complete yoke and then reversal. And I don't mind that. I just like, if there's a solid color band, I like it to kind of coordinate with the whole rest of the sweater. Like I would like that one better if the band was the turquoise up to where the cream color starts and then cream. I don't know why. It's just something that I like. And then there was a little bit of the decoration around the sleeves. I didn't do that because this is the way you pull the yarn. There is like some floats, and I just thought putting their hands into it with putting their hands in through like a smaller circumference, there's more of a chance to catch fingers and things in the float. So I just left that off. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. The second one is going to be reverse colors. So it's going to be the pale pink in the background, the purple in here, and then I got some little purples to go down it. So this I did have to modify because the pattern actually calls for a DK, and this is more like an Aran weight. So I just kind of, I wanted it to be big anyway, because they can wear it with the sleeves turned up. And if it's long, that's fine. You know, they'll get maybe a couple of years out of it. The Woolies is a really nice yarn, again, for kids' garments because it's washer and dryer safe. And I know that I've knit out of it before for kids, and it really stood up well. So so that one's done. So I got to get the other one on the needles. And I mean, I had to do the bands and the sleeves, but I mean, it works up so fast. If I just had got at it, it only took me like a day to finish everything, but it's just, there's more interesting things, and I had already done the fun part. So, but anyway, I'm glad that that one's done, and I will get the next one on the needles soon. I think I have to have them done for April. So I got a little bit of time. So, okay. But that is now done. Okay. That's it for my finishes.
I was just going through comments here. Sorry. Somebody asked, they were talking about the Super Soft. If you, Natalie says, can you skein it up and wash it?
Yes.
You could. You definitely could.
Yep.
I don't know. I
just don't want to.
I just don't want to. I guess that's what I was trying to find a way to say. I just don't want to.
I don't, if you really don't like the feel of it knitting with it, then yes, I would do that. I don't mind the feel of it knitting with it. So I'm perfectly fine to knit with it the way it is. So, because I know it's going to bloom and it's going to look, and I guess I've done so many projects with it where I've held it single, where I've held it double, and I kind of know what it's going to do. So
yes. Yeah.
And it really doesn't bother my hands. It's actually nicer to knit with than Briggs and Little. So it really doesn't bother my hands knitting with it.
Okay. Briggs and Little, that's an entirely different topic. That's something I cannot knit with.
I don't mind Briggs and Little either, though. So
that is like knitting, to me, that is like knitting with stainless steel. I don't know. That's rough. That's rough. No. I can definitely do the Super Soft in my hands. That doesn't bother me. But to be fair, most of the time I've done some little color work mittens, just using Super Soft by itself. But most of the time, if I'm using Super Soft, I am holding it with something else too. So that's, I think, why it hasn't really bothered me. But I know that when I'm done knitting it, the Super Soft, and once it gets washed out and everything, it's perfect. I never have any skin sensitivities with it at all. And again, it's like such an affordable yarn. It really is. It makes a very achievable project on the pocketbook. Yeah. Okay.
So how many whips do you have?
2, 3, I think. 3, 2. Yeah, I guess 3. Okay. I know you had 7 last week. How many do you have this week?
I just have 5. Because I didn't work on my vest at all. So you're not showing that. I didn't work on I did work on the Riptide scarf, but it's almost done. I'll show you it next week when it's done. So yeah, so I'll show a couple of the things quickly, because like this, the distance scarf, I'm still really enjoying it. It has gotten a whole lot longer.
Oh yeah, there, finally. It looks like some serious progress now.
Yes. So
you don't have much more to go, do you?
No, I've only got a couple of more repeats. Like it's a 20-row repeat. So I've only got a couple more repeats to do. And I'm measuring it up to my Sophie scarf because I like the length of my Sophie scarf. So I'll you know, like every day I'll say, okay, I'm going to do one 20-row repeat. And then and then move on to something more fun. And it's not that it's not fun. It's just that I've done the pattern and I love the way it looks. Like I love the detail in the pattern.
I really like it too.
Yeah. So this is the Distance Scarf by Olga Patano. And let me just find the banner. Okay. And and there is 2 different sizes in it. She does do one that gets a little bit wider. So I did the narrower one, and I know it will actually stretch out a little bit once I block it too. So it will be a little bit narrower, which is fine, because for around my neck, I don't want it too thick. the pattern it is really fun, but you do have to watch that you're getting all of your crossovers going in the right direction. And then we looked back last week, we looked at the back, and the back actually looks okay too. So I think wearing it, once it's flipped over, it will still look okay. So this is the Katja Atenia. And I know it's got cotton, cashmere, alpaca.
No mohair.
No mohair.
No mohair.
So this is really, really quite soft. So
I really like it.
A 25.
I would really like that one for a head wrap. So
nice.
I'm probably going to have to break down and do it.
So anyway, so it's I've still got this left. So it's one skein. Again, it's a 25-gram skein. Really affordable. I think it's $11 or $12 for a skein of it. So you've got like a super nice scarf after, it's nice to have something that you can do out of one skein of it.
I bought yarn that I had intended to make that with, but then I cast something else on with that yarn today. So
okay. Well, the distance scarf does also come. This is the fingering weight version. There is also a DK weight version in it, but I think the DK weight, it's going to be done too heavy to kind of be a.
Yes. Yeah. No, I would want. I would want that one for sure.
Yep. Okay. So that is. Take the banner off here. Okay.
So what I did last week, though, I did swatch. I'm getting ready to make a sweater, to cast a sweater on. Now that my vest is off, I really wanted to get that finished this week. And I know it seemed like I didn't have very much left to do, but that knit one, purl one around 3 openings and picking up those stitches, that's a little bit, and then Italian sewn bind off, it's a little bit time consuming. So I thought if I pick something else up that I really enjoy working on, I'm not going to finish that. So I needed to finish that first. So I did swatch last week. I didn't show this last week, did I?
No.
I showed it at the coffee shop. I think I swatched after. So this is the Super Soft in slate and the Lucia in anthracite. And when you put them together, you get a little swatch baby, but it's so pretty. This is so soft. So I've actually blocked this, or like soaked it, and it's just light as
we all felt
light
it
as
at the
anything.
coffee shop. It feels amazing.
It feels amazing.
So.
Like you can't. I'm telling you, if I didn't know that there was super soft in this piece of fabric, I wouldn't have guessed there was super soft. I might have thought, oh, it's held with coast or it's held with something else. But this is really, 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 really soft. And so I swatched this. The pattern that I'm making is a lento. The lento calls for a 6mm needle. I forget how many stitches, but doesn't matter. I wouldn't make it on that anyway. That's too big of a needle for me. So I swatched in a 5.5 and I swatched in a 5. So this was the 5.5. This was the 5. I'm definitely going to go with the 5. I like that fabric better. So I will do the knitting math and figure out what size I need to make. And then I didn't bring the other, oh shoot, the other stuff is not near me, but I'm actually going to marl something else into this at one point. So maybe I'll save that for once it's on needles, because that will happen pretty quickly and you'll get to see that. But I just wanted to show how nice this looks with the super soft and talk about how cozy it is, because it's
and
really, really nice.
We did find that you were on a bigger needle than what I knit with the coast and the Lucia together.
Yes.
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 But the coast is quite a bit thinner, right? And then once you block it, you get more spread in your stitches in the super soft.
Yeah.
Like it blooms more. So
yeah.
Okay,
this
before
is
we
a
go
really
on,
nice
I have to show this because Kayla made this comment that for my distance scarf, I put quite some distance on it.
Are you from down east, Kayla?
Gotta love a good pun. Gotta love a good pun.
No, that actually sounds like a down east saying. That would exactly be how we would say it down east. You put quite some distance on that. Yes,
on
absolutely you would.
Scarf.
Yes, on that distance scarf. Yes, punny.
Very punny. Very. Okay. Okay.
Sylvia's asking. She doesn't understand what people are meaning when they say that knitting with a yarn hurts their hands. a couple of reasons it could hurt your hands. I think in the case that we've just recently discussing, people are talking about how rough the yarn is, that they don't want to knit with it because it's hard on their hands. It's rough. I know for me, working with a pure linen or something that has a really high linen content, I don't like that in my hands. It hurts my hands. I like what I'm going to get after, but it's an effort for me to force myself to knit with it because I'm not enjoying the feeling of the yarn going through my hands. It feels rough. It feels scratchy, itchy. I know that it will break down and get better and better every time I wear it and every time I wash it, but the process is not fun. So I think if that's helpful, yes. And somebody else is saying it's just really rustic, or cotton can hurt your hands too. Somebody else pointed out, and that's another thing too. I'm working on bigger needles with a dense fiber hurts my hands.
I find that plant fibers hurt my hands, and I figured out it's because tensioning it is difficult because there's no stretch in the yarn.
That's
so
right.
When
and it's fatiguing on your hands.
In this hand, so I almost get my hand almost cramps.
I get a pinky cramp because I'm working harder to tension that yarn too.
So whereas with your animal fibers, they've usually got some stretch or some give in it, and you're not holding it as tight to try and keep your tension consistent. So I do find like cotton or linen or flax, I can only work with it in small doses. Now, if you take that cotton and blend it in with something, because I have no trouble with Coast, and Coast is 45% cotton, but because it's got that 55% lamb's wool in it, it doesn't feel the same, or it doesn't work the same through your hands. So yeah, so I think when they're talking about like Super Soft or Briggs and Little and that, it's actually the feel of the yarn that they're talking about. It's not necessarily a pleasant feel going through your hands, especially if you're used to working with like a superwash merino, which is like, sort of just slides through your hands. So it's just a different feeling on your hands. But then there are some yarns that you work with that actually the way you hold your hand is cramping it. So.
Adele says she's been making the Scylla vest for her grandsons, and the same thing. She's got rib ×3 and the Italian bind off. And she's been trying to finish her traveler shell. So she's got Italian bind off and 300 stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long process. Like I said, today, I just had the V-neck. I had a few rows to finish on the V-neck this morning and then the bind off. So, Linda had a new podcast out with her mom. Linda is, our friend from out West. She has For the Fun of Knit, and her mom, my goodness. So her mom just made one of the emotional support chickens. We will reserve our opinion on the emotional support chicken, but anyway, she was having a blast. They are cute. No, I'm not. I am not enticed to make one. They are super cute.
Things I have to get done.
I know, same. But anyway, it was just really cute to see.
If
Linda and her mom
really helped me knit faster, I would do it.
You could have used it after your surgery. You could have like propped it up there. I could have used it to prop your foot up on it,
Right. Yeah, they are cute. But I make very few knitted toys. It's not all the little things and stuffing things just doesn't bring me joy. And there's so many toys I wish I would knit for my grandchildren, but making little toys doesn't bring me joy. So.
Oh, I don't mind making little toys. I've made several toys now for Miles, and I quite enjoyed them. But there are a lot of work.
Yep.
So
okay. So
Victoria's Victoria's in here. She just finished her first pair of socks.
Yay, Victoria!
Yay! So, and it was bottom up, 2 at a time, and a shadow wrap heel.
Wow! You set the bar high. You need to know about socks. You can do anything now.
Yeah, absolutely. You set the bar high. Congratulations, Victoria. Okay. So this is my next whip. So I got it done where I've got, and you were talking about that. That's what I did yesterday, was the bind off, the Italian bind off at the bottom of this with like a strand of mohair and a strand of the. Yeah. Well, same.
Together.
Same. I had mohair and the Coast.
So this is the Bluebell sweater, and this is a pattern by Venka Rold, who also did the Wilfreda. So this is a patterned yoke, which I really like the pattern in the yoke. It's really pretty. And then it's just straight down on the bottom and the sleeves are just plain. So I haven't decided. I might just do like they've got this little lateral braid here. So I might do a lateral braid before I do the ribbing on the sleeves. But I really enjoyed the yoke. And I did the body, and it's now done, and the sleeves are plain stocking stitch. So I do want to get to it because obviously we're into March now, so there's not going to be a whole lot of long sleeve mohair sweater wearing time. So I should try.
I've already been thinking about spring and summer knits.
Oh, I know. I've already started.
I'm eyeballing some of the yarns over there and thinking, maybe I just need to be casting on some spring knits. But that's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Pretty. It's so pretty. I love the pattern. This is done with a strand of Odd Cat yarns, which I thought last week I said was all tencel. It's not. It's a tencel alpaca blend. So it's really nice. Okay. It feels really silky. And then there's a mohair that is 70/30 mohair that I got out in Nova Scotia in Mahone Bay at Heidi's by hand. And it's a really pretty mohair. And the two look like they were just dyed together, like it blended perfectly. So again, super light sweater because the tencel blend is a lace weight and then the mohair is a lace weight. So I think the whole sweater is going to be less than 200 grams. So super light sweater. Okay.
All right. I was laughing because there's some comments in here, and seriously, I have no desire to knit the chicken either, but you know what? Okay. Look at this comment. Haley, she's finished chicken number 2 to donate to her son's school. So this one is going to be Chicky Minaj.
Yeah, I know. I love the names for them.
And then Bobette has come in with Nicolas Cage Free. I think those are fantastic names.
They are, but I still don't want to knit one. They should make a little mini one. A little mini one, then I might make that.
Well, you could probably downsize the pattern.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Not by next week, though.
No, not by next week.
Okay. So what else are you working on?
Okay. So I cast this one on today. Because I had seen a podcast last week, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who did the podcast, but then this one jumped into my favorites because I thought it was really cool looking. And it is the scarf number 4
I like that
by My Favorite Things.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
So I cast this one on today. So this is using yarn that I bought when I was in BC last, and it's the Gathering Yarns, and it's Cashmere Reborn. So this comes in little 25-gram balls. Cashmere Reborn is so much cheaper than Cashmere the first time around. I don't know why.
Cashmere Firstborn.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. As it goes down the line, the cashmere gets cheaper and cheaper. Anyway,
I'm waiting for Reborn again and again.
Reborn. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, this is a really fun pattern. I'm really enjoying this. So I am pretty close to already being a quarter of the way through. This is knitting up really quickly.
Pretty. That's really pretty. That looks very similar to the pattern that I did in that one little scarf with the kind of like the rib and then it's a fun pattern to do.
Well, this is unbelievably soft.
Yeah.
Unbelievably soft. I can't wait. This is going to feel so good against skin. And yes, Barb, at the store in Chilliwack. Yeah. At I can never remember the name of it. Craft Supply, Chilliwack Craft, Chilliwack Craft, something or other. Sorry, I can't remember the full name of it. But anyway, I enjoy going there. I do, and I love this yarn. I hadn't seen this before. This was something new that I had found out there, and I've used the Gathering yarns before, different bases, and I thought this just feels amazing. And I don't care if it's recycled. I don't care. I don't care if it's reborn. I am willing to give it second life. This is and it's very financially affordable. And I am not going to say I'm wearing a Cashmere Reborn scarf. I am totally going to say I'm wearing a cashmere scarf. It's really, really nice and very, very soft. So Chilliwack Wool and Craft. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Carol was just there today. It's a really nice store. She has a lot going on. I really want to go sometime when I'm out there. I want to go. They have a knit afternoon, a drop-in knit afternoon, but it's on Tuesdays. And if I'm out there and it's a Tuesday, I'm getting set up for the podcast because it has to be at 4:00 out there. And their little drop-in is from 2 to 4. So I keep saying, one of these days when I'm like organized future Kelly, not this Kelly, not this chaotic Kelly. When I'm future organized Kelly, I will get the podcast and everything all set up and ready to go. And then I'm going to like scoot out and go meet some friends over there. But anyway, it's a really nice store and I do enjoy visiting when I'm out there. So, okay. And the pattern name, I did have a banner for it. Sorry, I forgot to put that up. It is Scarf Number 4 by My Favorite Things. And the only thing that I will say, okay, this took me a minute to wrap my head around this. You can look for it on Ravelry and you can find it on Ravelry, but when you buy it through Ravelry and download it, it comes to your email. It doesn't go into your Ravelry library.
Oh,
so
I haven't done My Favorite Things pattern. So
yeah. So that's just that. It's not a big thing. I downloaded it. Once I got the email, I downloaded it right into my Knit Companion anyway. So it is each one of these little sections. It's like a little 8-row repeat, but she does have some really nice finishes on it. There is a very interesting, it's not just what you think it might be. It's actually a really nice finish on that edge. And it does show it on, on the other side. I really like it. It almost looks like, you know what it reminds me of? When we braid our hair in that fishtail. Yeah. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks it's very nice. And I think this is a really pretty neutral color too. So I think I'll get some good wear out of that. Yeah. Okay. What else are you working on?
I am working on my Lord of the Rings socks, which I'm going to be working on forever.
I cannot believe you're already eye rolling. We are only in February, friend.
No, they're not. They're not bad. They're not bad. I'm not complaining. So I am working on, where are they now? I'm working on the cozy on, I need to bring this up because I can't remember, cozy on Carathras. I have to look up the pronunciation every time. It's one of the mountains in Lord of the Rings. Anyways, so this is a pattern by Claire Ellen. This is a free pattern. So last week, and actually, yikes, John had lent me some sock blockers, so it actually shows off much nicer on these, and you can see the pattern going down the side here.
Yeah, that looks great.
It's got another pattern down the front, same pattern down the side, and the pattern down the back. So they are basically quite patterned. And I am this far into the second sock. So the second sock, I've already done the heel. So these will be finished. These ones will be finished by next week. And so what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking sometime every morning before I let myself do any other stuff. And I do spend so much time on these socks so that they will get done. But they are really cool. They are. That's a really beautiful pattern. I'm still in love with the whole idea of it. And the socks are really cool. And I really do like knitting them, but we'll
check back with you on December 15th when you still have 3 pairs to go and you're not in love with the idea anymore. And yes, it's March. A couple of people pointed out that
I know it's March.
March.
It's only the 5th of March. I still have time. But anyway, this is Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock. Love this yarn. Really love this yarn. This color is called Brown Sugar. And it's just really, really subtly kind of tonal. And I really love the feel of the sock. I love how it looks. And I'm very happy with that. So, okay.
So I finished my first sock. It's buried at the bottom of this bag. Stick it on a sock blocker so you can see. Oops. I feel like I need a plastic foot now.
I'm going to order some. Order some.
Yeah. I might have to order me some feet too, because I like the way that foot looks.
They do show it. Because if you've got 3D view. Sock, I'm not sure. I mean, they're plastic. I'm not sure how good they would be for actually blocking your sock. Like if you wet it.
No. It's just nice and showing it.
You really can't see the pattern if they're just on the
No, it's
straight
front to
blockers,
back. Yeah, and
especially
if
if you've
it's
got
something back
something
here.
going down the front of the back.
Mhm.
So
this is the Seasons sock, upgraded 2.0 version. This is a Summerlee Knits pattern, and it originally started out that the whole sock was this was her season sock pattern, but then she revisited it and she went back in and she changed it up and she added a little color work section. And I know I showed this last week and there was a lot of conversation about whether this was blue or purple because the colorway is lavender. It's definitely lavender. And I know maybe on the screen it does look a little bit blue, but it is for sure lavender. Now, there is some slip stitches in this sock too. So you do get sort of an interesting thing happening. This always happens with a slip stitch sock. Once you get down to the foot part, so here on the back of the foot, and when you were talking about the tonals too, you can see how beautifully tonal, because this is Sweet Georgia, how beautifully tonal it is. But anyway, when you're knitting along on the leg, everything is nice and even. Everything looks great. But then once you get down into the foot, bear in mind, you're not slipping any stitches. So you kind of get this little bit of a, you know how it looks like it's sort of, this is a little bit longer than the top, but don't worry about it. When you put it on, it's a really good fit. Because everything is nice and cozy and it hugs your foot. So the one thing I did find though, I think she even suggested a 2.75 needle to do this sock in. I dropped all the way, well, not all the way down. I dropped down to a 2.5 to do my color work. And then I was doing this in a 2.5. I did this in a 2.5. By the time I got down here, I thought, you know what, it's going to be too loose on my foot. So I finished the sock out in a 2.25. If I were doing this pattern again for myself, I would do this in a 2.5 again, but I would do this entire sock in a 2.25. I think it would be an okay, still be a good fit. But having said that, I mean, it's not like it's a sloppy sock. It definitely isn't. And it fits really nice. And I'm really happy with it. So then I cast the second one on right away. So I'm this far. I'm getting there. I want to cast more socks on, but I tell myself, okay, I need to finish some socks. And yes, I know I haven't finished the herding cat socks. I'm waiting for somebody to bring that up. Okay. What else have you got?
So my next sock is the one that I'm working on a pattern for. So I actually have finished the first sock. So again, you can see it better. It's still hard to see, but you can see it better. So you can see there's the pattern kind of comes around there. And then there's also pattern down the back, just the cable going down the back. So the first one is done. And the second one, I've got to the point where I'm ready to mark where my heel's going to go. So again, there's the back of the sock with the cable, and then the front. When you stretch it out, there's just like a little bit of a lace panel going down with the cable in the middle, and then just an all over texture around the body of the sock. So I'm doing it in Leo and Roxy. It's their 80/20 sock. This colorway was a special colorway that they dyed because a couple of my daughter and my daughter-in-law went together for Mother's Day and had Jolynn dye me up some colors for the birthstones of the grandchildren that I had at the time, which was 3 of them, but there's more now. So this color is pink. So this was Zoe's color for October. So I'm using that for this sock. And this was just a mini that I had, and I'm not quite sure. I was thinking it might be Koigu, but I don't think it is. I think it is an actual sock, 80/20 sock yarn. So I'm actually going to start to write it up now that I've pretty much finished one full sock, and it will be, have to figure out the other sizes, but it's pretty adaptable to other sizes. I'm really enjoying knitting it.
It's so pretty. I can't believe you just
afterthought heel
came up with that. It's great.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be just as easy to put a heel flap and gusset in it. I just kind of like the alternating color in it. But yeah, so I'm working on that. So that's those. Hopefully, again, I'm going to say all these things are going to be finished by next week, but that's probably not possible. But we'll see.
Probably not.
I will do what I can, especially because I just cast on something new.
The last thing that I'm actively working on, and I worked on I shouldn't say actively working on because I haven't picked it up since we were at the coffee shop on Saturday, but these are my hibernal DK socks using a fingering weight held with a mohair. So I had the first one done last week, And then I put the rib on, so I would have that done. And then when we went to the coffee shop, I knit pretty much all of that at the coffee shop. It does knit pretty quick. So I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe about 5 or 6 more pattern repeats. And then I'll be at the heel again for this. So hopefully I will have these done for next week. These are a super quick knit. This is also a pattern by Summer Lee. And as you can see by the banner underneath, thank you. And I'm loving that. These are, like, you talk about a little bit of a luxury for your foot. Having a mohair sock is just, it's just glorious.
Yeah,
absolutely
they felt,
glorious.
when we felt those, it felt amazing.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Ooh, so nice."
I know.
So
I need to knit some of those too, but I got too much. I had to have too many Lord of the Rings socks I have to do.
But these are fast, and you know what? This is only
well, when I need a break, then I'll
48 stitches in here for my size. But look, like, you can tell how just like squishy plump they are. I can't wait to wear these. These are more just I don't know. I guess you could wear them in a boot. For sure you could, because I mean, mohair will compact, right?
Yep.
But I'm more thinking these are just like that when, I don't know, like today would have been a perfect day. It's a cold day. It's a rainy day. You just want to huddle down on the couch and do some knitting. And this would be kind of like a hug for your feet. That's what I'm thinking, right? So I had a lot of mohair this week. It just feels like everything had mohair in it. That must be why I've been like itching and it's all over my clothes and everything else. But anyway, so this is a great pattern. I highly recommend this pattern. I really, really, really like this pattern. I think she has it in a regular weight as well.
She does. There's a fingering weight.
Yeah, this was
now
really
I'm not
nice.
even there and my nose is itchy.
You're just thinking about it. Just thinking about it.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you're working on?
Yes. I just started this. I just started this today. I started a new pattern today. So I am doing
complaining about not getting things done, and you just
I know.
That one. Yes, absolutely. Okay, you're forgiven.
So this is the mid-ocean tea. She showed it when we had her on the live one night. She showed it, and we're like, Beth, we should
write that up, Beth.
That pattern out. Well, I think she might have had it. She must have had it written up because she's already got it into testing. So, anyways, so this is the mid-ocean tea, and yeah, so I'm testing it, and it's fun so far. So here is what I'm doing it in. I'm doing it in Holst Garn Coast. That's what I was talking about, the coast. So I'm doing it in this color. So this is the base color that's in here, but you can see this is, excuse me, a little bit more vibrant because the Lucha, which has the yak in it, actually toned it down a bit.
Yes.
So this color is saffron, which I'm holding it double. So
I was going to say, you must be holding that double. Yeah.
Yeah, each end of the cake. And here's what I've got so far.
Oh gosh, that looks good.
I love it. It's so good. And I did
maybe I could make it in river and actually get to the end of that cone.
And I did a little bit this contrast. I don't know. I just wanted something. So this little contrast at the top is Holst Garn Coast, and that color is plum. And I just, it's just going to be there, and it's going to be on the armbands, but I don't think I'm going to put it around the bottom. But the pattern is just so good and so crisp, and the Holst held double is it's just an amazing fabric. Like, this is 21 stitch gauge, and you can see if I turn it around, there were some short rows at the back before you start into the pattern, but the pattern is all down the back, all down the front, and then your sleeves are just short sleeves, but they're just stocking stitch. So you kind of got your raglans there, and then your sleeves are just all stocking stitch. But
now I want to just cast it on. I just want to cast it on.
Look at that. It's just so good. I'm in love.
I want to cast it on.
I'm married to it. I don't want to say that. I hope Ross didn't hear that too.
Yeah.
But anyways, I know. I still didn't tell him that I said it was my knitting anniversary.
Your Freudian faux pas from last week.
But anyway, absolutely love it.
Is the pattern in the back too? I thought it was just in the front.
Yes, no, it's in the front and the back.
Okay, that's it.
So,
I want to make it now. I was trying to hold off, but now I really.
Oh, there you go. Love it. So So yeah, so that's not going to be done by next week. Okay. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is not going to be done till next week. And I have to cast something new on because I'm making my son a sweater for his birthday, which is April 7th.
Okay. That is 31 days away.
I know. So this is the sweater that he wants. So this is.
You can bang that one out in a day or two, can't you? For heaven's
no
sakes.
problem. It's actually, okay, it's called Winter's Night Enchantment. It is by Drops Design. And I know Drops Design, the patterns are not necessarily the most well-written patterns. And I'm changing the gauge of the sweater. But I think it'll work. I'm actually going to do it in Holst Garn Super Soft held double because it is it's a 21 stitch gauge. But if I hold Holst double, I will get an 18 stitch gauge. So I've been able to adjust it so that I can do it. There's a size in the pattern that I can do that will work for that. I am not going to put all that flea stitch or the lice stitch down at the bottom. And I showed him that and he didn't want that anyway. To me, I don't know, it almost makes it too busy. Like I think I like it just with the pattern at the top and then a plain just stocking stitch bottom. Yes. And then the colors that I'm going to do it in, and I've already got the coast. So this is, the main color is going to be this, which is dark apple.
I like that.
And then my contrast is going to be this, which is the almond. So I've already rolled off some both so that I can hold it double. And I need to get that on the needles too. So I have no business casting on anything else. But anyway, we will see how that goes. And I took his measurements. Okay, he's 6'2". His sleeve length is 22 inches. Like, what am I thinking?
I don't know.
I'm not thinking, clearly.
You're not thinking. Clearly, you are not thinking. Right. Yes, you are not.
But anyway, I like a good challenge,
Well, okay. Anyway. I'll just keep knitting away on my little scarf and you just start that sweater. You go, girl.
Anyway, I just need to give up sleep, period. No sleep.
Susan says you can give him a yoke for his birthday.
That's right. Really, really getting into April, it's going to be almost too hot to wear it anyway. So we'll see how far it gets. I will love doing the yoke. It'll be when I get to the body that it's like, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, he is tall, but I only have to finish it about a 45-inch around. So he's not super big around, but it's the sleeves that are terrifying.
That's a lot of sleeve.
Yeah.
That's a fine gauge too. 21.
No, it's going to be at 18.
18. Okay.
That's not bad. It's all good.
Isabel says, goodness gracious, Noelle, a drops all over color work with another gauge for a 6'2" man for April 7th. Does he want fries with that?
No, he probably wants a birthday dinner.
Oh my goodness. That is a lot of work.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, NJ says, she thought for sure she had missed the live. No, NJ, we're just running super late tonight. Again, this seems to be a weekly occurrence. Okay.
We had lots of comments that people liked it. So
that doesn't make it okay.
So we're happy to talk.
We are happy to talk. Yes.
We're with our friends.
We are.
No.
Yeah. And if I were at the coffee shop, I wouldn't want to be leaving. I'd be wanting to hang out for this party for sure.
No, that's right.
So very quickly, did you get anything this week? Yes, you did, because I was with you.
Kelly, you show yours. I'm not showing mine. I'm done. I don't even have time to look at any other yarn.
Okay. We went to Country Yarns for Noelle to get sock yarn for her Christmas gifts. That's what we went for solid color. And so I did get some yarn. You got this one too, didn't you? Yes, you did. So this is a sock yarn that we quite like, the vintage sock. You're going to show it. You know you are. So we got this, and this again, this is really nice yarn. So this is the same makeup as all of their other vintage products. So it's actually
look. I might have to make a matching socks to go with. Not for his birthday.
It's 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and then there's 8% nylon, which makes it a perfect sock yarn. This is fantastic value for 100 grams of yarn. This is a really nice color too. It's just a nice green that I didn't have. So,
okay, seriously, like, my colors match these. I could do him Natalie socks that are in the
trees,
Lord of the Rings book. Yeah. In that green and this, and that would match his sweater.
And then also found this goodie here, which is basically the Diamond Luxury, same makeup as the Barocco sock. $14, friends, for this 100 gram skein.
That's nice. That's a gorgeous color.
And it's coming up more blue on camera, but it's actually a dustier blue, and there's an awful lot of purple in it. There's a section, maybe you can see some of the purple in there too. So it's like a really, really, really very, very subtle marl. But I think I seem to be short blue, gray socks in my sock drawer. I keep making socks, but for some reason those colors aren't finding their way into my sock drawer. So I thought, grab that. And then I grabbed 2 skeins of the vintage in the worsted to make Little Miles a sweater. Excuse me. And I'm going to make him the flax sweater. And I am going to use my embroidery book and do some embroidery on it. And that is full out copying what Sarah did for her niece. But it's such a cute little sweater.
So good.
Excuse me. I must have talked too much. Now I'm rough throat.
Okay, so I got a couple of other colors in the vintage because I think the vintage is going to be good for the all over textured sock. So that's like a rusty red color, and then this color I believe is called Oats, and then this was just the gray, because I mean I know I have a lot of sock yarn, but I have very little solid color.
Same.
And then
yeah, I
got a black. And this is Regia, so it's a black. And then this is West Yorkshire Spinners. And I thought the girls would like that color. And then I didn't have a good red. And this is from Universal Yarns, Uni Merino. So just, I don't know, like, just because I didn't have a red. So, and you never know when you might need it.
Yeah.
So.
Rosie's asking where Country Yarns is. It's near us, Rosie. It's just out towards Petrolia, which is another small town near us. And she actually has the store in her house. So you just have to check her hours, make sure she's open. And she's, for a small space, it is a well-stocked small space. She has a lot of yarn in there. And we go out there on the regular to get the Barocco. And yeah, we like it. We really like the Barocco especially for gifting away when you're just not sure how somebody is going to care for a product. The Barocco can be washed. It's easy to take care of. It's got that acrylic content in it. So can't really be damaged in the washing machine. But yeah.
Yep. And someone asked how it wears. I've got a pair in it, but I really haven't worn them enough to really say, like, so far they've been fine. I know that anything that I've knit with the vintage, like the vintage DK or the vintage itself, has worn fine, but that's not on your feet. So I'm hoping fine. I mean, it does have 8% nylon, and it's also percentage. What is the percentage? It's also 52% acrylic. So I would think it should wear. I think it should wear fine. But if we find out anything different in the future, we will let you know. So
yes, for sure.
So
okay.
Okay, well, we should probably wrap it up here.
You think?
So I have a lot of knitting to do. I have to go.
And I have things I want to cast on, and now I can. So yes.
So, okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. You know, like I know I have a lot of projects, but every time we do this, then there's just more and more that I want to cast on. But anyway,
I know.
We
keep finding
appreciate
things.
Everybody joining us every week. It's a highlight of our week, and we really look forward to it. So we hope you all have a wonderful, amazing next week. We will see you next week, and happy knitting.
Happy knitting. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. I can't find the overlay. Here we go.
No technical till.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.